Man, collective, look. You know how buildings be having generators? In case if there's like a natural disaster or something happens, a hurricane, whatever, right? And when all the power goes out in the building, then what happens? The backup generator comes on. Only the ones that are fortunate enough or paid enough or blessed enough to have a backup generator that can handle that, right? This is what your narc was trying to play you as. They wanted you to be their personal backup generator. I mean, you got to look at it. These people, collective, these people need chaos in their life. So the reason why they had you as a backup generator, it's you're like, well, Gio, look, why would they want to play me as such? Like, who do they think I am, right? The truth is, contrary to your belief, they don't think you're weak. They know that you're strong. They know that if anything goes wrong, you're the only one that has the strength to put the whole entire show back in check. So it's not that they think you're weak. They know you're giving. That's why you're the only person that can do this. Now let's get back to the chaos, right? These people need chaos in their life. Why do they need the chaos? Because the chaos is the only thing that they have, the quickest way to reach for an antidote so they don't have to look at themselves. And chaos is the easiest thing to reach for. Whatever it takes for them to avoid who they are beneath that mask is the reason why they'll start anything with you and you and you and you. And especially you, especially if you're a collective. Because being that they don't have and possess any true substance. So they get bored real fast. That's why I'm weary of anyone who gets bored too easily. Because that lets you know right there, that's a quick little, you know what I'm saying? A little quick note to let you know that they don't have too much going on, and they really, really hate silence. And they really hate being alone. They need constant stimulation 24/7, whatever it takes to keep them, because their personal self, it creeps back on them. So they got to do anything to get it off of them. Hey, what's that? Pop you, flick you in the forehead, whatever, just to break the monotony of themselves starting to creep right back on them slowly, And you, collective, I mean, you might be the number one traveler across the planet. You might have the best corporate job and climbing. You might have football playing trophies or beauty pageant trophies. You might be, you might drink the Dos Equis beer and be the most interesting dude or chick on the face of the planet. But sad to say, that doesn't matter. If you're not providing, for a narc we're talking, of course, right? If you're not providing the sufficient amount of chaos, then they're going to look at you as if you're boring. They need arguments. They need unlimited competition. They want to get with you. Family, whatever. They want to get with you. They want to get next to you. Just so they can compete with you. And of course, what? Absorb your energy. But you gotta supply a narcissist with toxicity. That's what they consider to be like fun, But you have too much inner stability. You came so far and you're still climbing, you're still going up, because that's what collective do. Collective starts realizing, then collective starts really taking off. And they stay at the same area. So it's like you're going this way and they're going this way. So no matter what you do, you will never be fun enough to them. And fun is just a cheap, pathetic mask way of saying, I don't want to look at myself. Don't give me enough time to do that. So being that you are whole and complete, or at least close to it, close enough to where they know that there's a damn difference, right? The narc figures that they're gonna put you on the back burner, kinda, but not enough for you. You know, this is where the breadcrumbing comes into play. They want to keep you. They see and know the value in you. So they want to keep you. And plus, you know, this ain't even narcissism. Anybody with an ego wants to have, you know, as many as they can on the roster, right? But narcissistically, they want to keep you. They don't want you to leave because you're the only stable thing in their life. They know when their whole plane crashes, when their whole tower comes tumbling down, that you're the generator that can keep everything together. And they don't want nobody else to have that. So it's kind of like they want to tuck you away while they go out and get their fix. Boom. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. It's like, look, it's like, picture a dude in a relationship, right? And the dude is a dope fiend, right? And his girl is the enabler. All right? Like, look at Frankie Lyman, right? Like a setting like that. So what does he do? He keeps his girl. Because, you know, so he could go through her wallet and go crazy and, you know, threaten to throw the damn dog out the window, right? He keeps her because she's stable. Because that's the lifeline. While he what? Goes out, hits the streets looking for it. Doing Lord knows what with Lord knows who. And this is the same way the narcissist responds to their addiction with chaos. They're like junkies, you know? They'll probably come knocking back with cheeseburgers or something, man. These people are jonesing for a hit of relief from themselves. Because look, whether we like it or not, collective, we are survivors of narcissism. That's just what it is. So we have to talk about what we've been through. We have to reflect on what we've been through so we know what to look out for when we come back around, as we move on, especially as we grow higher and taller, especially more as the goddess comes out of us. It's not like the game's gonna stop. The game's gonna get more sophisticated, more sneakier. So you're gonna have to keep that sword brandished the whole time. So that's why we sit here and have these discussions about how the game works, so we can recognize things moving forward, right? Now, when we were hanging out with these narcs for so long, these mofos get to the point to where they think that, listen, your narc thought that since you were being sincere with them, they felt that since you had an actual genuine interest in them, is how they're feeling about it. Like, what? You would talk to me? Since after a while, since you had that much interest in them, after a while, where did it go? Did it touch their heart? I don't think so. It went straight to their ego. So after a while, they started thinking like, well, I could get this, this genuineness, this interest in my raggedy ass anywhere. And that's the attitude they started taking on. And they're like, well, if I could get it from you, then this is crazy. Let me see what else time it is. But you're for sure. So they want to keep you as a backup generator while they go out and see if they can get their toxicity fixed. And of course, someone else can be their number one generator, right? And then Lord and behold, who would have ever thought that all you had to do was pull back on them? Take your kingdom away from them, because you're not a generator. All right. I mean, yeah, that of course that comes with the territory, but you're a whole entire kingdom. You're a whole entire movement all by yourself. This is what comes with chosen. So you're not just generating energy, you generate the whole kingdom, a whole show. And they get big-headed and tend to forget that. So who would have ever thought that you just pulling back and saying, nah, we're not doing that. Gone. You know? Now it's like Mardi Gras. Okay? You are Mardi Gras and they are the street. Now that Mardi Gras is gone, you know, it was just the mirage. I wasn't even there. Now that it's gone, now it's just another dark and lonely street once again. And that's what they're feeling. Now that you're gone, they're feeling like a street without the damn Mardi Gras. And they don't know where it went. They're not even sure if you really existed, because they were caught up in all sorts of ecstasy, demonic ecstasy, right? And then after dealing with you, they had to find out a little too late. You know what I'm saying? You can't show up. I mean, it's great that you have respect now. You know, that's wonderful. But your respect is too late. Now it doesn't count. Now it doesn't matter. Now the narc is finally spiraling. Because now all they're left with is pure, unadulterated, savage, slimy, creepy, dangerous, jacked up toxicity. That's it. Nowhere to run to, no kingdom that's guaranteed, no public safety. And they have to deal with the fact that they brought this on themselves, yo. And the crazy part is that now they have to live with this. I mean, if you really shut the door, now they got to live with this basically eternal regret. Because they might find, you know what I'm saying, some other generators. But they're not going to find no freaking generator, walk outside and find another generator that comes from the blessing of God. Are you? I would like to see that happen. The fact is that you collective, you're the one that can find 1 million of them. Demons and hellraisers come a dime a dozen, buddy. Like, what are we talking about here? They will say that they can find 1 million of you. That's when you crack up laughing like, ha, 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 ha. I mean, there's no need to be that arrogant about it, because we're not, you know? But we all know that that's funny as hell. Like, okay, you know? How about you just get your ish together, you know? That's what we actually prefer. How about you just sharpen up, knock off the games? But since it's final, now they're in this eternal regret, you know? And the coldest part is that now they don't have no emotional conclusion There's no ending, especially let alone one that they wanted. Now these people got to have an open ending of dissatisfaction. And that's a cold part, because now they have to watch you move on with your kingdom, with your Mardi Gras, while they're stuck on their dark street, alley back way. And you took your kingdom and moved on. And now, especially since you found you're a lot more careful of who you deal with from now on, they have to sit and watch somebody else do what they willingly chose not to do. Now, narcs aren't capable of feeling happiness. They can feel fulfillment, but not happiness. Remember that dolphin? Okay? A dolphin might be like, but is that happiness or is that just fulfillment? Okay? So they can't feel happiness, but you know what they can feel? They could feel jacked up, all right? They can feel terrible. They could feel jealousy. They can still feel all these low vibrational things. So when they see you moving on with your new mate, with your new life, and things are going the actual way it should have been going the whole time, they have to sit, not only watch, but they got to live with that. For the fact that they knew that should have been them. For the fact that they knew that could have been them. And the only reason that it's not them is because they said, nah. They're like, oh my God. The end for them, you know? In a sick way, I love these endings. I know it's not good, you know? I'm supposed to pray for the narc. I get it. I'm still working on that, you know? And I mean, it's not that I want the narc to good. You know, it's not like that. I do hope the narc gets their stuff together. But, I'm still working on trying to pray for him, all right? But it's still a happy ending. Why? Because you decided. You got your marbles together. You got your ducks in a row. You get to move on. And that makes me glad. All right? So I focus on that part. But look, that's all I got for you right now, collective. So get in the comments. Tell me what you guys think. Drop, 2 or 3 lines. Have you guys ever dealt with someone that tried to use you only as some sort of awesome backup plan instead of participating in the real show? Have you ever dealt with someone that needs drama consistently? Not a little bit of drama, not a little something here and there. I mean straight up lights, camera, action, drama, 24. It's crazy. Let me know what y'all think. And I'll come back with another piece of the puzzle later. Peace.